Hi there. Are you doing IRONMAN Cork or IRONMAN 70.3 on the 19th and 20th of August? If so, this video is for you because you have just entered your taper phase. Now, if you don't know what your taper phase means, you definitely need to know this video. But even for experienced athletes, I have a couple of do's and don'ts that you should pay attention to in this still crucial part of your training. That means you will have an epic race day come the 19th or the 20th of August, depending on what race distance you're doing. So we'll go through some taper do's, some taper don'ts, and have a little bit of peace of mind I can offer you at the end of the video. So stay tuned. Who am I? I am Stephen Moody from Smart Endurance Solutions, otherwise known as Coach Steve to my athletes. I am IRONMAN Youghal certified coach. I am Triathlon Ireland award-winning coach, and I've put a lot of people through Cork. I have a lot of people doing Cork, so kind of know the deal, and I'm happy to help you get ready for what you need to do in 2 weeks' time. Okay, so taper. What is tapering? A taper is the period of time where you ease off the intensity and volume of the training before a big massive endurance challenge like 70.3 or a full Ironman. It means you reduce your training, reduce the volume, and allow your body to recover, consolidate all the great work you've done. And by the way, fab work, well done for getting here. This is one of the harder parts, getting here injury-free. But now it's allowing the body recover, energy levels, replenish and rest, and you'll be ready like a coiled spring come Saturday and Sunday. But with it is a strange time of the process for any athletes, because you suddenly become convinced that you're losing fitness. You're not. You're going to be injured. You're going to get sick. All these things that would endanger you having that race day experience you dearly deserve. As it says here, you become germophobic, irrational, you get short-tempered. It does say you become spontaneously moody. And no, this does not mean you become my cousin overnight. It just means your nerves are a little bit frayed. These are things you need to be aware of and work around in the next 2 weeks before you get your chance to shine in Youghal. Okay, so I'm going to start off with don'ts because these are more important than the do's. Do not panic and listen to your Garmin or Training Peaks or whatever app you're using, or Strava, because your fitness numbers are going down. This is purely natural, because if you think about it, you've been over the last few months, you've been building up your training load, your training intensity, and your training figures are nicely going up, and go, wow, great. And now suddenly you're dropping off, you're doing one session a day, you're not doing any long rides, etc., etc. And then Garmin starts telling you unproductive. What? Garmin? Or Training Peaks, it says that your CTL or your ATL, as in the figures that say fitness and long-term fitness, are dropping. I go, no, ignore it. The most important computer or app you've got to listen to is between your ears. Your body needs to recover. If you are a data nerd and you want to focus on a metric in Training Peaks, where I'm a big fan of, focus on TSB, training stress balance. This is your form, the yellow line that will go up. And by the way, this means nothing to you, that last couple of lines. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know it. It's for data nerds and people using Training Peaks. Don't cram or add in compensation training. If you sort of go, maybe I'll just get in one more 60-mile ride, or I'll do a long run. Don't. All you're doing is baking in fatigue, and you're kind of draining your energy levels. Now is the time to rest. Give the body the extra sleep it deserves. Let it ease off. There's other things you can do. Do not add in compensation training. It's something that a lot of athletes do. Okay. If you want, there is the option of sprinkling the extra short sessions, a little bit of intensity, maybe a short tempo run, and maybe do a little bit of an effort in an open water swim session, but don't be throwing in long, hard stuff. That's just going to, as I said, cause fatigue, and that's the last thing you want come the 19th or the 20th. Don't do anything mad. As I said, there's plenty of time in your hands. And what do triathletes do? They read articles, they read blogs, they watch great YouTube videos, which do that. And by the way, good time. If you're enjoying this and if you got useful out of it, please subscribe, because it helps me grow my channel. It means I get to help more cool athletes like you, And it's kind of that's a big kind of goal for myself. And hit the like button. But back to what you should not do. Do not suddenly decide that you should change a keto diet. You should try running with power. Don't try anything silly or daft in the last couple of weeks. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you've been doing. It's not the time to rock the boat. And on that, don't try anything dumb. Bit harsh, I know, but I'll use an example. One of an athlete I was training in super form for the first Ironman. They had done all the training, done everything. They were unbelievably compliant. What happens? He goes out and plays five-a-side soccer with his mates because he had spare time on a Wednesday evening, and he tore his hamstring. Don't do anything like that. Don't wrap yourself in cotton wool to a certain extent. Don't go out and start playing with kids on a trampoline. Don't break your leg, because now's the time. You're in that window. You don't have time to recover. You don't have time to get yourself right unless it's a very, very minor injury. And then better option is to avoid any injuries at all from something dumb. Okay, so taper do's. What should you do? Okay, well, start off. I'll do subscribe, please, and like. Thank you very much. What you should do is trust in your plan and your training. This stage, you will have gone through numerous months of training, building up your long bikes, your long runs, speed work, open water swims. All that's in the bank. The hay is in the barn. Trust it. Okay. If you're looking for a little bit of confidence, feeling nervous, look back on some of the stuff you've done. You go, actually, before I was training for this, I'd never run 10 miles before. Look, I've done it a couple of times. I'm bulletproof. Look at the volume. Look at the way the training's gone up and all the rest. Take confidence in what you've done. If you've done the work, now is the time to go, you know what? I'm good. Coach Steve says I should relax. He seems to know what he's talking about. Do rest and enjoy the downtime. As I said, you've been very disciplined in your training. You've been very structured. Don't feel guilty about having a lie on. If the body says you're tired, take the night in. If you've got a recovery cycle on a Sunday and it's in your plan and it's for 2 hours and you only feel up for an hour, cut it in half. As in, you're not going to get any fitter or stronger at this stage. All you're doing is keeping things ticking over. And if it's better to get more rest out of this than add in extra sessions, as I've said. Do try to minimize work stress. Now, again, none of us are pro athletes, but if you can minimize stress in general, like if you've got a work trip that you can be pushed to after the Ironman, do that. Try to get on top of some stuff before the last week before you go traveling. Load up on sleep. Again, I think all the young parents here are laughing at me going, that's not an option. If you can, it will very much help. Do work on your race day strategy and fine-tune your logistics and your packing. You've got time in your hands, so don't go anything, as I said, stay away from new fads as in keto diet, or I should try this new runner, etc., etc. Nothing new on race day, but you do have stuff you can work out. Look at your race day strategy. Look at those. The videos I've outlined with the course outlines. So some key things that you could be write down, figure things out, remind yourself. It'll help ease your nerves. And the more familiar you are with certain elements of the course, the better you're going to perform in the day. You don't want any surprise. Read your race briefing. What time do I need to register? What time do I need to? What time should I be down there? Work it all out so it's almost militaristic when you actually turn up on the day. Because the less you have to think and just keep moving the arms and the legs, the better day you're going to have. Work on your mental game in terms of, as I said, I did the other video on visualization, mantras, dedications. And if you don't know what that is, again, the videos in the comments below, have a look at it. These are things that will help you on race day. Everything now physically you've more or less done to get yourself ready for race day. Now it's all about logistics. It's all about getting your head game ready, and do it. Work out your mantras, work out your visualization, who you're going to dedicate that last part of the run to, etc., etc. Get on top of it. So that's what I said. Now so it's lots of do's and don'ts, okay, but you're still nervous, especially if it's your first full Ironman, if it's your first 70.3, it's absolutely natural. And by the way, it's good. It shows you respect the distance. What you're taking on board is a massive challenge. The fact that you're in the position that you're staring it down the barrel, that's a huge testimony to you. So you are in control, but you might be nervous, okay? So I'm still offering this for a free dial-in webinar on the 13th of August at 8 p.m. Irish Standard Time. If you want to register for that, and you can pick my brains. I've done the course a couple of times. I've done training weekends down there. You can see by the course videos in the links in the video and the end screens thingies. I know what I'm talking about. If it will make you feel 1% better, that you have a question that you'd like to register, pop on. I've done these before. Typically, they can last anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, but typically around 90 minutes is how long it will take, because someone in the room will ask the exact question you're thinking of, as in, what do I do if I'm bonking on the run? Do I use a long sleeve or a short sleeve wetsuit? These are questions, and if they're in your head, they're a good question, and you'll be surprised that people ask. So this is your chance to take the last minute nerves, and that's more or less this. And I'm just trying to help you get that, be prepared as much as possible. So take advantage, register as well. And again, final ask, and please do, if you haven't subscribed, 70% of you haven't, please just hit the subscribe button. It helps me as an influencer. Yes, hashtag notions. But it kind of gives me a little bit of reward for all the input I've done for you. And by the way, I'm just really happy to help, because I want Cork to be around. I think everybody's going to have a super race day. Youghal puts on the show of to end all shows. You're going to have a super day. So register, turn up. Hopefully we'll talk on the 13th. If not, there'll be one or two more videos coming out. One on kind of what to pack to take that stress out of it. And they're going to be a packing checklist. Yep, got you covered. Subscribe because I'm a giver. And then there'll be a last minute checklist that you should going to be aware of, things you need to do that you probably won't think of, checking tire pressure, making sure garments are charged. I'll do a little video on that in 3 or 4 minutes. All trying to get you ready. You've done the training. You deserve to take all the stress out of it, and that's what I'm trying to do. So let's get you there. Let's get you ready. Let's get you prepared, and let you have a massively epic race day experience. The Cork people will put it on. You got to turn up, show up. I'm sure you will. Have a great day, great few weeks taper. Do review the do's and don'ts. Trust your training. Listen to your body.